Should be always nice hearing from Jojo, and we have Alvaro with us to talk about this amazing game. Hi, nice to see you. How are you doing?
Nice to see you. I mean, I'm doing great. I think it was a really convincing game.
Yeah.
Also, I think it was a bit boring maybe for the spectator and for us sometimes because we like to fight.
Yeah.
But I think it's some good vibes because I think the game was good.
We'll talk about the game a bit later. I have something to ask before. I'm sorry, Nymaera. I'm gonna let you get to this. There's, as an unbiased member, there's been a discussion on who comes the latest at the office. Yeah, oh, you know where I'm going. So between Jojo and Joyo, or someone else maybe that we wouldn't think of, give us a ranking of how late players are.
The other day, maybe it's because North America, you know, but he didn't know our routines, and we had a schedule 10:30 a.m.
Yeah.
He came like at 12. So, I mean, I can... Maybe I don't blame on him because I don't think it was well done on the calendar.
All right.
It was just something that we said, but he already knew. So I think it's top one Joyo, but I think on times that they have been late, I think it's tied. They are 3-3 right now.
Oh my God. Let's keep tracks of this.
Yes.
Nymaera, sorry, can you go?
Oh no, I was just saying, do you actually prefer to win in a boring way or an exciting way though? Because like, as you're saying, okay, that play didn't look so fun. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was 1 HP, you know, like just walking around. But I think I like when the game is something that you need to fight, or like it's a game that, in my opinion, it's something exciting. I think this game, of course, is exciting because you are playing well the game, you are playing like macro-wise. But I mean, if I need to prefer, I want to play like fighting because I think it's really, really enjoyable.
How has been the, the synergy and everything, because obviously you changed only one member of the team, but it is mid lane, central on the map, of course. How much did this impact the way you like to play together and also forcing these fights?
I mean, I think I already said it other times in the interviews. I think Joyo is a person that he's really good calling for people, and also is someone that he asks a lot for resources, and he plays with these resources as well, and he capitalizes. So I think it's also something that is really good for our team because we didn't have like that much of a voice. It was mostly Joyo the last year. Of course, we also talk in the game as well, but it was not something that confident. So I think right now having also the... I mean, there is a meme in my team that sometimes I open too much on Joyo's side instead of Supa on mid lane, and Supa sometimes dies on mid, just to make sure that I need to also open on mid. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good... like he's bringing a lot of ideas as well to the table, so I think it's something that is really positive.
Can I just say, that's not a fair amount of ambassador damage. That's like 1,000 damage a minute on ambassador. That's just not okay.
It's the
just
meme,
a quick thing.
It's the meme Riot versus Riot, no, on top lane, like K'Sante into Ambessa. I think these two champions are the strongest right now.
We've spent the weekend with Finn and a bunch of other top laners. Like, you can't play carry top laners. What is that? What is that? You can't play carry top laners.
We already know Mirwin, no? He likes to play all this carry.
So you just have to be Mirwin instead. That's what you're saying.
I mean, look.
Mirwin is really talented.
Yeah, and he's the key player of the game here.
Okay, I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves the praise,
yes,
of course.
He deserves it.
Yeah, top lane is not boring at all, as we said.
I mean, he played already 3 K'Santes the first week, so...
Oh, so he's done his quota for it?
Now he's just playing into K'Sante the Ambessa, so...
Quick question on that, because we're going to get Fearless eventually. You guys are looking like one of the top teams for this. I think you guys are going to be good in Fearless, and I think that Mirwin is going to have a really good time.
Oh, yeah.
Have you already been practicing Mirwins with... Is the Fiddlesticks making a return?
So, Fearless draft right now, people are not practicing, but we did, I think, two morning blocks, like 2 scrims is only 2 games, into 2 different teams. We did the Fearless draft. I think it was like, we played 2 or 3 games, I don't remember exactly. And it's already like hard to remember, but I cannot imagine when we are playing the best of 5 and it's the 5th game and there is like... I mean, I'm not going to say supports because it's not something that you play on other roles, but for example, ADCs, there is many ADCs that are played on mid lane. Maybe there is 11 ADCs that are out. So I think people need to bring out a lot of ideas, and I think in our team we are a big contender in that aspect.
You throw game 1, draft 5 ADCs, and then have fun for the rest of the game.
I have heard of people doing that in the past.
And then you can ban 3 ADCs, and I think it's going to be hard.
The weirdest tournament I ever remember, I think it was a Fearless tournament played in Vietnam a couple of years ago, where you couldn't play anything again for the rest of the tournaments. You had like Quinn ADC in the finals, and it was
like another season, no?
Oh yeah, this was ages ago, man. No. This was still when Quinn ADC was really bad.
Okay.
It's just nothing else was left. Anyway, that's just Fearless to the real
We're gonna end up playing like since Cassiopeia in bot lane or Team of Cassiopeia.
I'm ready. I mean, I feel like you have the best identity per se to play this kind of format.
Mostly on our top guy called Mirwin. I think this guy is just... For example, we came today into the draft meeting. I mean, we don't usually do draft meeting, but the other day Merced told him, maybe you're playing this champion today, and he said, okay. And it's like, we don't even practice it, we just, okay, maybe you play this.
I remember that it was something last year, because every time I would ask you what is the draft going to be about and everything, it's like, I don't know, whatever the players feel like playing. Is that still something we do?
I mean, I can tell you today, for example, Merced didn't come to the office because he's sick. He was feeling sick. So
even less checks and balances on the players. The players rule.
No, we had Thef, but he was asking also for some confirmation on Mirwin. And yeah, we just did the draft with Thef. We were like doing it a bit of a joke way. Like we just let the coaches have the responsibility on the draft, and then it's on us, the game. But also, if we see something, we also like bring it on the table. But I think overall, like Mirwin, after the 3 Casantes, he deserves to play something a bit more fun. You know?
All right, tomorrow he can have fun, of course. I'm always wondering, Nymaera, when I see teams who play on instincts and are going to go for the champions that are not meta, but that they feel comfortable on. This compared to the meta approach, I feel like not a lot of teams feel comfortable and trust maybe their teammates enough to pull strats like this.
Yeah, because from what I've known, because I've watched way too much LPL for many years now.
And that's great.
The thing about Fearless is that it's actually less about having champions that you can play, but let's be honest, look, you're all pro players. You have champions you can play. It's playing a composition you can play. We've had games in LPL which have had Swain mids where you're playing for kind of like slow meat grinder team fights. It's a different play style to playing a Kindred Galio. It's a different thing to playing Noct and Orianna, Vi Ari, or Kalista unlocks different supports. And sometimes you'll even have a pick like a Kalista to say, well, you can't play Nico support with other stuff. Play Kalista with it, that unlocks it too. That is the kind of trust that you need to have to say, look, this is something that fits the comp we want to play, rather than I know you can play a laning phase. That's fine, that's step one. It's all the other stuff where you actually connect with the other things in the team, which I think is really important when it comes later into what we see in Fearless.
But I think it's also like the fun of making it be also for the spectator, but for the player itself, like playing way more champions, I think is something that is really enjoyable, and even for us, because of course, I mean, for me it's fun playing like in official because there is always the competition, but if I need to, I don't know, like if I play scrims and I'm playing the 3 same champions for like 1 week, like the meta is always the same, it's not shifting, it's a bit boring. So I think in Fearless Draft, it's gonna be way more fun.
Quick take on playing on live patch this year, actually. We haven't seen much because the patch hasn't been that compelling, but yeah.
It's weird, but I like it.
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm not used to it still, but I think it's a good idea because also you have better practice as well in solo queue, and I think it's something positive as well.
We'll see.
Because I remember in Worlds, for example, we had the old patch, like it was the item difference. It was not the best practice as well, so I think making it like this is way better practice for the professional.
We'll see what players think when Mel hits the rift and breaks the game completely. I have one question about you, Alvaro, because I remember when you entered the league last year, super motivated, really perfectionist, which is something I really like about you. 1 year in, what is your attitude towards this new season and learnings from last year?
I mean, I think it's hard, but the focus I put on myself for the start of the year, it was mostly to actually enjoy what I do and deal better with frustration, because since I'm a really like perfection person, like I want to do it well or like really good. Also, it carries a lot of frustration, so I want to be better holding my emotions as well, and inside and outside of the game, also express myself better, because I think sometimes my brain goes that fast that I talk about something, but I don't really have the time to explain it, so I need to be better using my words. And I think it's mostly, this is the main focus that I'm having, because I think if I'm enjoying the day by day and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I think I'm going to become the best.
Love it.
And I thought you were incredible last year as well. From a third party, seeing from the outside looking in, you started the year very well, went through a bit of a style change throughout the year, which sucked for a bit. That wasn't the best. But I think by the time Worlds came around, especially making Worlds with, 4 ERL to LEC kind of players in 1 year, that's a very hard thing to do. You definitely peaked again at that point. So I was obviously seeing Joyo come in, so we already talked about your experiences with him and outside of the game stuff, outside of timekeeping. I was always very interested in watching your games, thinking, okay, well, how much are you going to keep from that growth you already had from last year? So it's good to see that you've had this kind of personal growth alongside that, because inside a game and outside a game always go hand in hand.
Of course, and it's usually hard to like keep tracks of your improvement and goals, especially when you change teammates and everything. So I'm really interested in seeing what is going to be Movistar MKOI with Joyo in the mid lane evolving in the year. Let's take a look at the standings maybe, because things look weird right now. We have 4 teams being 4-1.
We won into 2 of them.
Yeah.
And Casey won into us.
What is your take on the state of the league right now? Because I see a lot of stuff on social media, people saying that the bottom teams got better. People also saying that maybe the overall level of the league got worse. What do you think about all this?
I mean, my opinion, I think is overall the level of the league got better. I think the teams from the lower table, they can bring good ideas into games, and I think they are also stronger than the last year. I will say, I mean, we see, for example, G2 right now is the thing that like catches more my eye. I mean, I think they are a really strong team.
Yeah.
Of course, they are 2-3, but you cannot sleep on them. I think they are really good players still, so I think they will bounce back. And I mean, for me, it's really cool because I think there is a lot of competition right now, and it's the thing that I enjoy the most in my life, like putting competition in front of me. So I think it's really, really funny.
I love that we do have a genuine competition for the top spots, and I really love that we saw a marked improvement from week 1 to week 2, particularly around the way that teams are playing around Atakan. Week 1, we saw a lot of people not control Tribrush, setting up very poorly, just flipping the objective, basically. You had a pretty interesting game. I think it was the game against, it might have been the one against KC, where it was just an absolute mess around Atakan. That looked a lot more clean from almost every team that was in the lead this week. Did you notice between weeks and scrims, have people really been nailing the objective setups more? Or was that already happening and just didn't make it to stage?
I think it's mostly the biggest difference I saw is when we started the season, well, it was a mess. Like any team that goes to the Atakan just die.
The GA immediately gone. And
I mean, it was a mess. And then also I think sometimes depends on who you are screaming. It was not even the GA Atakan because we had like a lot of kills on screams.
Sure.
We've had no games to that yet. The other one, have we?
We will make it one day, don't worry.
Oh
it will
my
be
God,
a blue
thank you.
Promise? Yes.
Can you shake
I
on
hope,
that?
I hope.
One game
I
of
wish.
it.
I mean, the GA I think is so strong. I think it still needs some changes because I think it's something that is really hard for the other team to actually fight if it's on the right time when you kill the GA.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest difference it was like how we set up the Atakan at the start of the year and at now. Because at the start we didn't even know how we were getting our resistance lowered. Now you are playing, like we were playing before, I remember in the bootcamp we were minus 50 on both resistance.
Oh my God.
And yeah, you just get one tap, and we were like, what? And now you can kite it, you know how the pattern is as well. You also know how to set up the vision better if they cross a line. So.
Yeah.
From what I remember, we did a segment which is like the do's and don'ts of Atakan. I think most of ours were talking about the difference between top and bot lane, difference in Tribrushes, controlling Tribrush, and of course the difference between top and bot lane. Don't tank it, and also don't let it heal. Feels like those 4 things, all of them improved across the weeks. That's good to see at least.
I think it's also really important, depends on if it's top side or bot side. Like I think it's harder to retake from one side to another if you take the river, and also you need to be really careful if there is no tier 1 on bot or on top, because you can get TP flank, and it's over. So I think it's a lot of ideas that you need to bring into the table. You need to think really fast as well, and since there is a lot of objectives, there is always a fight or something to fight around, so it's really cool.
Well, seeing teams and players workshop around this has been really fun to watch, at least for the better or the worse, but I feel like the league is improving. Either way, let's take a look maybe at the schedule we have for tomorrow. Who are you guys playing? SK. Oh, they're not doing good.
My boy Isma.
Your boy Isma, yeah.
I love him.
Oh, true, actually.
Yes.
Used to be teammates.
I mean, I'm sad for him.
Yeah.
But tomorrow is my day, you know.
I know you can't say too much, of course, because you're playing them, but any takeaways from their game so far? What is your take on this game?
I think they're having really good ideas in early game. I think sometimes they are misplaying it, but I don't know. I think they're kind of losing the confidence because when you are 0-4 down, I have been there. I mean, I have not been in 0-4, but in summer and in spring, I was not doing the best. So I think the ideas and the confidence is lowered, and it's way harder to actually come back. I think they need to full trust on themselves, but also on their teammates, because I think it's really important right now facing these weeks. Like, you can make it out. We have won 3 games in one day, and we qualify for playoffs. So I'm just wishing the best luck for them, but not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Next week, maybe.
Yes.
But confidence here is key. Confidence that we saw from GX's coach, Nymaera, last week, saying that G2 was not going to make Worlds. Well, they're going to face tomorrow.
Good matchup.
Yeah, it's time to stand on business. You think they're not going to make Worlds? Show you're better than them, because for them to not make Worlds, you have to have other teams which are above them.
Do you think they beat them, or is G2 going to wake up, or is GX going to
well, given that it seems like the theme of this week is, wow, teams are either really good or really bad at Atakan. G2 are still pretty bad at objective fights. They lost pretty handily to Fnatic around a lot of the objectives who are much better at it. I think GX have been one of our better objective teams. That's already a good standpoint. So the question for me is, are GX going to match up mechanically and in laning phase in the early skirmishes? Because if they can do that, I think the objective game is in their hands. And doing that, and turning that around in a day, hard for G2.
put a topic in the box, open this one again tomorrow, because we have more League of Legends for us on the other side of the Atlantic. Thank you so much, Alvaro.
Thank you so
for being
much.
with us. Good luck tomorrow against SK.
Have a good night.
And thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for more LEC at 5:45 CET. But League of Legends, as I said, doesn't stop now. LTA North is live now with Team Liquid versus Dignitas. So let's check out how they're doing over there.
I heard Lyra's starting today.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, right?
Whoa, Kangas, what the hell, man? The show's about to start soon.
Yeah, I'm just doing my prep, man. I read something about, like, feeds of strength.
You mean first turret, first 3 kills, first objective, stuff like that?
Nah, dude, like, deadlifting, arm wrestling for side select, cool stuff.
Is this all you've been doing? Like, what about Otacon?
How to who?
Oh, God.
We're doomed.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I got one more set. I forgot about that teleport channel.
What?
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
For anybody watching at home, it's great for your posture check. Get your rear deltoids.
And Closer has to move down bot side. Oh my god, Jackie's no mana on Camilo.
I think I f***ed up.
Jackie's. Closes on his way across. Camilo still has the flash here.
Oh no!
Oh, he flashes into a wall.
I f***ed up.
We can go Nash, we can go Nash, we can go Nash.
But he's still in vision. First blood though goes over to Rahel. Kazi tries to answer it with one of his own. Isma now coming in. Oh my god, Vitality! What were you doing?
Oh my god, 9. Oh, it's close. It's close.
Boom, 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 boom. Now Rahel is by himself in the bot lane. Loop is on his way across. Rahel gets Rahel! Rahel's gonna get 2 with the double on the tower.
Hey, bra, vi ska bara bomb. Okay, one kill, bomb, guys. What do you mean you want? Okay. Yeah?
Nice.
Look at him!
Nice, good job.
They're waiting to balance as the Nature's Grasp and a setup from Q, a twisted advance, and that's all that Fnatic need. He's buying time, he goes into Hammer Form, gets the resistances, but Wind becomes lightning, almost getting the slow down of LaProm.
I can ult him. Oh shit. I get him, it's fine. Yeah. I can flash him, is that? Yeah, nice. Go, flash. Yeah, take my kill, bro. Slowly. Nice. We can finish it. This end zone.
Yeah, I think it's not flash.
I give you the buff, Elias, if you want to suicide for it. Yeah, that's it. Jake in 40. Nice, guys.
Take a slide on clean.
Patrick?
Patrick is dead? Question mark? He's dead!
Don't flash, okay? Yeah. Nice. Dead? Okay, no.
Land.
Yes, land. Oh, what is that? No flash. Go on the con after mid whiff.